Welcome back to Sunflower Cottage Crochet. Here is another tutorial on joining granny squares. We have a video about joining as you go. I'll link it in the description box below should you want to see that. Also be sure to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the little bell icon to be notified anytime we upload a new video or go live. So let's jump into it. Today we're going to talk about slip stitch joining granny squares. A slip stitch join makes it much more invisible, and I have two different colors here to work with. Now normally when you join up squares, you're going to want to use at least one of the colors you're using, and it is easier to do with like if they're all blue or all yellow or whatever color you're using, to use that color when joining so it's not visible. But for today I'm going to use a very visible yarn so that you can kind of see how it works. And so for this slip stitch join, sorry, my rings are getting in the way, you're basically just going to put the wrong sides, these are the right sides, together. And what you want to do, I can get my little needle here, you want to work into just the two closest loops. So like the back loop of this one and the front loop of that one. There we go. Just to minimize the join, the visibility of it. So when you open it up, only those two are going to be joined. It still makes for a pretty tight join. I did put a slip knot on here just for security. You don't have to, you can just do a regular join. So for joining the sides, like I said, you're going to want to line up everything and go into the back loop of the first one and the front loop of the back one, and then you just complete a slip stitch. Okay, so then we go into the next stitch, go into the back loop of that one and the front loop of this one and complete a slip stitch. Again, you can go into the back loop of the front one and the front loop of the back one. And you'll do this all the way down. Now if you're holding it pretty lined up and close together, you can just kind of do it all in one motion sometimes. That's always the case with me. It's just like if it's kind of cloudy outside, if I go outside, boom, it's raining. So it's Murphy's Law, it's best with me. For those who aren't familiar with that term, it means if it can go wrong, it will, basically. So here I am, I'm just slip stitching down this side. And this is something you'd want to do. You can kind of do it as you go, or you can do it all at once, or you can do a little at a time. It's not like join as you go, where as soon as you're finished with one, you kind of have to go into adding the next square. This is a at your leisure, your choice on how you want to do it. Okay, so here we are back at the corners. But first I want to show you how it's gonna look. So because I used green yarn, it's very visible. But if I had used, say, a blue or a yellow, it would be hidden at the very least on one side. Now if I was doing, if I had a white outer like this one, if all my squares were like one color here and then a very light or white color on the outside, I would just join with white. Whatever I used as my last color for all my squares, I would just join with that color. So if you want to join up a square up here, you're really going to fasten off and then restart. And to do corners with slip stitching, there really, as far as I know, isn't a snazzy technique. But you can go, you want to make sure you line them up. Go right into it and just slip stitch it all the way up. And when you join, I'm just going to chain up one, this square, I suppose if you wanted to, as you go, you wouldn't bother doing it this way. You just go diagonal, kind of like the join as you go method, and then you would start, and I had like woven my end on this one, so it was a bad choice on my part. And brown is so hard to see, by the way, it's like black. And anyway, you just start, you can continually slip stitch, join, if you wanted to minimize how many ends you're weaving in. And like I said, because I had hidden my yarn up along the top, it's making it more difficult for me to do this. But I'm a pro, right? So this should be nothing. If only. All right, so I'm going to stop here just to kind of show you the join, and the corners are together. So when you go to do this one, I would start over here, join these two just like you did this one, just slip stitch it together, and then go across, and then join this one with that one. Now you can just do line up a bunch in a row. Okay, just do a bunch in a row and just go straight across. And you can slip stitch these two together if you want to, or you can skip over that. If you skip over it, you're likely going to have to fasten off and start over. So because the slip stitch join is so tiny, joining here and bring this back over. Joining here and in diagonal isn't going to hurt anything. It's not going to make it bulky or anything. And again, if all your squares have the same final row color or round color, then you would use that color to join all of your squares. So that was the slip stitch join. I hope that this tutorial was helpful for you. Again, please like and subscribe. Click the little bell icon to be notified when we upload new videos or we go live. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.